Welcome everyone to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here, Cardo Dudley Jr. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. And we are talking to you this time after the Wizards have a positive result. The Wizards take down the Hornets 123-114 to get back in the winning column. We saw the Wizards this time with the, 4-point shy of 40 in the fourth quarter versus the other way around at times. It was kind of a tough night watching at points because of the second chance points, but they got things done. Ray, we'll start with you and then Cardell. Just your take on this game and them getting off the slide for a bit because they've been going through it.
Yeah, I think they played a pretty solid second half. You mentioned the second chance points. Just feel like they did a better job stopping the bleeding in that area. Charlotte finished the night with 22 offensive rebounds. That's a lot. They were able to contain that a bit in the second half. Corey Kispert, I think his spurt kind of gave the Wizards the energy to finish this game. From that point on, they were pretty much in control of things. Charlotte pulled the Wizards tonight. They kept shooting threes and kept missing threes. Washington was able to take advantage. Poole had a solid night. Koulibaly played well. He had the play of the year for the Wizards probably with that oop. They were just in a good rhythm and flow on both ends. Really, they were defending well. Then on offense, they were getting quality looks. The threes they were taking in the second half, those are the threes I don't mind. They were in rhythm. Guys were getting set up, and they were knocking them down. You can't ask for much more than that. They shot almost 41% from three on the night. Still 42 threes is a lot, but we're not going to complain too much in the win. But yeah, man, I think what they did in the second half was that's their blueprint for success. Just being decisive and looking confident on what they're doing. So yeah, man, like you said, we'll take all the wins we can get at this point, because it's been a ride so far this season, man. But it's always good for them to get one in the win column.
Cardell, you take on the 123-114 win over the Charlotte Hornets.
One of their better wins of the small season. I know it's a short amount of those, but still, it was impressive in a different way than what you would take from it. Normally, they was playing against a team that kind of does what they do, and that's the bad shot selection at the worst times and stuff. And for a young team, it's easy to get caught up in that. And with the pace and going in, they jacking, you find yourself shooting yourself out of a win. You know what I mean? But they stay disciplined. They stay within themselves for the most part. They stay within themselves. They play whatever role they needed to play for this game. They kind of stay within that, and they were able to pull out a win. They didn't get caught up in, what Charlotte was doing. They stayed with their game plan for the most part, and they were able to put it out. I think Jordan Poole woke up. He woke up in the fourth quarter. He was huge in the fourth, not just with his scoring. He was huge with his facilitating as well. He had 9 points. He had 2 assists and 1 turnover. You know what I mean? And he was 2 of 2 from the field. You see what I'm saying? We've seen him many times be inefficient in the fourth, trying to play a little too much hero ball. But down the stretch, he made the plays. He only played 7 minutes, 35, a little over 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 35 seconds in the fourth, but he made the plays that needed to be made, man. A couple bad fouls, especially that one on the corner in front of their bench with the 3. He got to work on being more disciplined defensively and start falling for all the stuff, man. But, nonetheless, man, him and Alex Sarr in the fourth quarter. Alex Sarr with 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. on 3 or 3 from the field, 2 or 2 from deep, and 1 or 2 from the free throw line. He's starting to figure it out. He's starting to figure who he is and how he could thrive in this league. You can see it's starting to become more and more consistent with the between 15 and 20 points, 5 to 10 rebounds. A couple blocks, couple steals, 2 or 3 assists is starting to become the norm as he finds his way. And ironically, he's starting to find himself as he's not shooting as many 3-pointers. Like, he's shooting when he makes them. Other than that, he's finding other ways, and his teammates are finding him when he's running the floor. Out of pick and roll situation, pick and slips, pick and pop situation, like the pick and slip where he dunked on Miles Bridges, stuff like that. He's a super athletic mobile big. Utilize that. That's a weapon. There aren't too many of those in the league. Or, I mean, there are athletic bigs, but they may not have the instincts and the skill set and the poise that Sarr does, especially with him being so young. And you also got to remember, he's just adapted to the NBA game. He's been a pro for a while. You see what I'm saying? So I think he just needed to figure it out. But you could tell when the player's starting to figure it out because it's becoming consistent. It's not like 19-8 this game, 2 and 3 the next game. You're starting to see the consistency, and the Wizards are going to be better for it. Also, you got to also look at the bench points. 47 to 35 in favor of the Wizards. It's ironic that they turned the ball over because Charlotte normally turns the ball over a lot. And I don't know. That was weird, but the Wizards and some of that came late in the game. With silly stuff, but it's ironic that that favored Charlotte in this game because I think they're like 3rd in the league in turnovers. I gotta look it up, but they're one of the worst teams in the league in turnovers per game. So no, actually, they're 25th. They average just over 16 a game, and they only had 8 today. So I don't know what to take from that. I'm like, hold on, Wizards, you gotta step your defenses up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still there for the taking, but nonetheless, man, they had an awesome game, and just ride this momentum. And also, I feel like this is one of the games where we know what they're doing, but they didn't coach and play like it. You see what I'm saying? And that's all we asking for, man. Don't be, we know what it is. Like, if you can get a high pick, especially the first pick, great. You know what I'm saying? But still, that guarantees nothing. You should always play to win and utilize the talent that you have. Play to your strengths. I'm not mad at the 3-pointers tonight, the amount, because they hit them. That's all I'm asking for. If you hit them, keep shooting. Why not? You know what I'm saying? They shot 40% from deep, and they shot 17 to 42. Fine. That's what you do. It's the problem is when you shoot 42 threes and you made like 6 of them. That's the problem. Then you're looking like what the Charlotte Hornets. Like the Charlotte Hornets, 8 of 43, 18%. Come on, y'all. Come on. I'm not even going to get into LaMelo. I'm going to leave him alone. But no player in the history of basketball, I don't care if your name is Bill Michael Chamberlain, you shouldn't have the green light to shoot 3 of 18 from deep, dog. Like, you shouldn't even get close to that. If you like 1 for 6 and you shoot one more, come sit next to me, bro. Like, you bugging. You bugging. Like, that's crazy, man. And that's like, the Wizards play well, but the Hornet shot selection definitely helped in this game. Like, it's just crazy, man. But that's what they do. They get them up. They're similar to the Boston Celtics, actually, in a 3-point volume, man. They're right there with them. Like, they 3rd in 3-point attempts, 43 a game, 3rd in the league. They 6th in makes, 15.3. And then they're 18th in the league and, shoot 35% as a team, which is respectable. That means you got to guard a bunch of them because they can hit it. The problem is they turn the ball over a lot, and they damn sure don't play defense like the Celtics. And they don't have the weapons that the Celtics have. So that's what I mean by all these teams can't adopt the same system that other teams are playing with because you don't have their personnel. It is what it is. But nonetheless, Wizards good win. Just try to keep this momentum. I believe the next game is a rematch with the Hornets. So I think it is. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adjust if that's the case.
Yeah, I think the next home game is a rematch with the Hornets. They visit the NBA Cup winning Milwaukee Bucks, I think, on Saturday.
The Bucks on Saturday, yeah.
which should be oh so much fun. But back to this game, Cardell, you want to know where the turnovers popped up for the Hornets tonight? They did it in place of shot selection. They were still there. They just moved it from one column to the other because those shots, man. Like Ray, you put in the chat earlier. Hey man, this is why I can never be a coach because hey man, I just couldn't. 18? Half of your shots, sir. Almost half of your shots was just go take it. Other teams rebounding drills. But as you said with Sarr, you mentioned Sarr earlier. Yeah, I think he's getting comfortable, and I think one of the biggest areas you can see is getting comfortable just with the playmaking now. There's a lot of possessions where he kind of bails some of his teammates out of tough situations where they do a little too much dribbling the ball at times. We caught him, I think it was one time, I think Poole had it. It was like 6 seconds and nothing. Mark Williams is glued to Sarr out near the three-point line. Sarr surveyed the court, kind of hooked him, took a couple dribbles to the paint, and ended up, 2 passes later, they get it wide open. I don't know if it's wide open, but they got a good, clean look from Brogdon for a 3. It's those little things. It's so many things he brings to the table, and I'm happy that, as you mentioned, he's taking threes that make more sense, not just putting them up for the hell of putting them up, because that doesn't help anybody. And love his work rate on the defensive end of the floor that hasn't really changed. I want to shout out Champagne and Bub once again. They didn't end up with 10 rebounds, but was that 17 boards? 2 of your smallest players do not hurt in a game where the other team had 20 offensive rebounds. Shout out to both of them for finding a way to impact the game outside the score. I know Justin did have a good night scoring the ball. Bub didn't, but again, 17 boards from them too. Definitely appreciate that. And you talked about the bench points. I like the group they have coming off the bench. It's good to see Corey and Keyshawn back, obviously, but you're bringing Calm off the bench.
Adults.
Thank you. You're bringing the adults. Brogdon, JV, just some – hold on, everyone. Let's take a second and not do the dumb thing. And in key stretches, that goes a long way for this group.
They're doing it against the other team's second unit. So that's advantage Wizards. So
right.
I'm like, it's interesting that they mix it up. They just got their personnel back. So I'm interested to see if they stick with this and how teams adjust if they're able to, get some momentum with some wins.
Yeah, because with that switch up, like you said, not only is this an advantage, it's almost like a luxury right there having that. You're bringing veteran dudes that have seen so much in this league, and they don't need a bunch of minutes to do what they need to do. We saw Brogdon that first half. He had lifeline for Washington in that first half. Then the game got going in the second half or whatnot. But yeah, good win as you guys mentioned. See what it looks like Saturday on the road in Milwaukee.
We're going to help you out. Brogdon had 17 in the first half on 6 or 7 shooting. So yeah, he was cooking.
So 17 of that 25 in the first half.
Man, they needed every bit of it. Plus, they also finished the game. That's the thing. To make smart decisions. Like, I love that screen roll. He took the time off the clock, Brogdon. They was trying to pressure him. I think it was Cody Martin. And Cody came out a little bit too aggressive. He turned the corner on him. Defense collapsed. Here you go, Sarr. Wide open 3. And he was in rhythm all night. Knocked it down. Clutch 3. Might have been one of the first few clutch threes he's hit in his young career, man. So that's a confidence building to know, all right, you are capable. And for himself to all right, cool, I finally got one. I can do this, you know what I'm saying? That's all you need is building blocks. So that's what I mean. This is an ideal plan that, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the young boys, get the minutes early. But we're going to come with the best to get this calm and get the game back under control so we can be in position to try to win this thing. So you're getting the development with the young guys, but you're still playing to win. Anybody that's logical, can respect that.
And again, I think we can all agree that's the recipe we would love to see continue going forward. As always, I got to put it up on the screen. Player of the game.
I went Brogdon.
Yeah, he carried on the first half and closed. Helped close too.
No arguments here. That was a hell of a night, and they needed every bit of it.
Because Poole woke up in the fourth, and Sarr did too.
Yeah.
But throughout the game, Brogdon was keeping them afloat. so they could be able to wake up, man. It is a winnable game. Without Brogdon, the game get away.
And like you said several times throughout that game, you got to deal with Brogdon way differently than you deal with Poole with him bringing the ball up the court. You can't just put hands on Brogdon, bad things happen to you.
You get bumped back.
Yeah. Then you're in trouble. Call the ambulance, but not for me. X Factor.
I'm going to go with Alex R. Like I said, figuring out 19, 9 and 5, 3 blocks, 6 of 13, 3 of 6 from deep. Yeah, he make his free throws. That's 24, 25. He knocking on the door. That looks even better. So he's trying to figure it out. But he was the X factor, man. Because those bigs for Charlotte can just hang in the paint and be waiting for them. You saw in the fourth, the Wizards, they had a lot of room in the paint because they had to worry about him because he was hitting it. And they had to adjust, man. So he was huge because if he wasn't playing, then Jonas would have had to be in, and that plays more in the hands of Charlotte because they got more athletic bigs than Jonas, and they all played within the basket in the paint, 5 feet and in. So, with him, it stretched the floor and open things up. But sorry,
right.
Yeah, I thought Kispert's little mini explosion was important, but I agree with Cardell with Alex R. just for everything he brought tonight. His versatility is going to be big for the Wizards, especially as he starts to get more comfortable. Like we saw tonight, he was able to mix it up. His outside shot was working, so it kind of threw a wrench in the plans for the Hornets. And then we saw he was able to work at different levels offensively, and then defensively, we already know what he's capable of. He disrupts things at the rim, and he's able to guard the perimeter. So yeah, just based on everything he brought tonight, I'll give him the nod.
Yeah, definitely agree. And I just appreciated the fact we know how annoying and bouncy Charlotte's front court is. They got the ones that start when they come in. What is that 1-2 punch of Mark Williams, Nick Richards, regardless of who's going 1, who's going 2, depending on what they got going on. That's a lot to deal with. And we seen him from at times earlier in the year starting to find his footing. He was down there doing what he needed to do at times, altering shots and whatnot. So I definitely appreciated that from him. But good Lord, those are 2 really bouncy bigs, man. They have.
Sure. Ridiculous. But it's R1 too. You just got to play with more confidence. And I don't think people, and when I mean my people, fans, I don't really think they understand how tall Sarr is. Like, he's legit 7+ maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not far from Valanciunas. Valanciunas was 7'2". So he's not far from that, man. You know what I mean? But look how he moves. He moves like a guard. That's why, when you're on the draft, he had like David Robinson's athleticism, because that's how David Robinson would move. It's just a cheat code to be that tall and be able to be that agile. So, like, you saw him out there staying with LaMelo Ball, who has all the tricks in the book, off the bounce and stuff, man, or being able to create a shot. And he stayed with him and got the deflection. You know what I mean? So, he once he gets stronger and becomes even more confident and then really, really understands the league, it could be it should be problems. Let's call it what it is. It should be problems. And for the Wizards, they really haven't had a big for what his potential is. If he reaches it, they really ain't had a big of that quality in a minute. Like, you might have to go all the way back to young C-Web She days to see a big of that with everything they bring, that he's capable of bringing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I know my mic was me. I was about to say, yeah, C-Web She, because it's so
all them type.
Yeah, there's so much he can do. They've had other bigs with a little bit more defined roles. This is, it's the, like you said, the question of can he reach his ceiling and really fine tune everything he really can bring to the table. We had a couple before we get to comments. You guys saw the news for you, those of you who may not today. The new Capital One Arena. Get that up on the screen for you guys. They're going to be working on this over the next 3 years during the summer. So, hopefully as the team continues to build, this building will continue to get renovated as well. And I'm going to go ahead through some of these mock-ups that they've shared. And I'll let you guys go ahead and share your thoughts on what you guys seen and your reaction once you heard that, I guess, this morning.
My reaction somewhat is overdue. You know, if you're trying to really win, you gotta have facilities that will attract free agents. Also, keep players here. You see what I'm saying? Like it's hard to. I mean, it's hard to compete. It's just similar to college. You could bring the top recruits in, but if your facilities looking regular, like man, this don't look like something from the 80s and 90s, and then they go to other schools and visit, and it look like something you've never seen before and blow them out. What you think it's gonna do? It's gonna leave a big impression on those recruits, and you're gonna lose. Same thing with free agents. Like, do you have everything? Do you have everything these other teams have? Like, what if it's a player that's it's between the Clippers and the Wizards, and it's close in money and roles? They're going to the Clippers, and you already dealing with Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood, the weather, and all that. You already got that X factor in the mix. But the new arena, like we seen it over the summer with the new facility, the weight room. Like, Lord, like, bro, like basketball heaven. Like, it's no reason for you not to be good. It's like, man, you trash, bro. It's just like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, bro? You got everything. You know, like you got a chef in the kitchen over here. You got the weight room, pool, sauna, treatment area over here. You got 50 courts over here. Like what do you need, bro? You got the massage therapist over there. You got the doctors. Like something hurting. What more do you need? So if they can build up Capital One to fit that need, it's a game changer. It helps them. And it helps keep player here, and it helps attract more free agents. That's if they're winning, obviously, you still got to produce on the court. That's always going to be numero uno. You can have all the nice facilities all you want. It's going to be like being with a pretty girl that brings nothing else to the table. It looks good on the surface, but there's nothing there of substance. You know what I'm saying? So you eventually you want to get rid of it. It's just similar to this, man. It's just same thing. You got to keep building the winner. But if they winning or starting to trend that way, and looking at the pictures and everything is right there, you can start to attract free agents and get this thing turned around.
Right.
Yeah, man. My first thought was definitely long overdue. This building is approaching 30 years old. It's time to spruce the place up. But also, like Cardell said, it's gotta be accompanied by some success on the court as well. But yeah, if you're not upgrading in this way, then you just simply can't compete. And even from a fan perspective, like I'm sure this will make the experience more enjoyable. And maybe it'll reflect in attendance and just in the atmosphere in the building, period, because that's a part of it as well. But again, none of this matters if we keep getting 15-win seasons. So yeah, keep the main thing, but the amenities and the upgrades are definitely welcome.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. Long overdue, but by the time it's built, the team needs to be too. They need to. Those things need to be debuted together. Is where I'm at with it. Debut a new building and a team ready to compete. Like, I'm not gonna say contenders are doing a lot in 3 years or whatever to compete in the postseason. I think that's more than fair.
So the crime in the area don't affect this. I'm just well, we can keep it moving. I just asked the question. It was just on my mind. Just trying to see what y'all thinking. That's all.
That was different. That's when they was trying to move. Blizzard baby said, good game. Wizards is a team. Hopefully we can keep this positive energy versus the Bucks. Yeah, we'll see. But
you got no choice. You're going in with negative energy. You're gonna get the hell beat out of you. Hell, even if you coming in with positive energy, you might get the hell beat out of you, man. Bucks rolling, and they got that animal. That animal loves seeing the Wizards. I don't know what it is about the Wizards. Giannis he loved DC. He loves seeing that Wizard jersey. So, you know what I'm saying? So they ain't got no choice. They can come in there lacking if they want. They ain't gonna be over by halftime. So it's on them.
They need to make sure the second chance point thing that happened tonight doesn't happen that night, because that's not Charlotte. That those second chance points will most of those would result in dunks, not threes.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I tried. He said he wishes Sadiq Bey comes back at some point this season.
Well, he coming back from ACL, I believe. So take your time, bro. Can't rush back and mess up your career. You know what I'm saying? Especially, hometown kid. I know he want to get out there and boogie. In front of the hometown. Friends and family, high school. Sit with friends, DC Premier. He actually played with Everett from the Kinder League team, and they played DC Premier together. So they real tight. You know what I mean? So y'all can always since going back to his high school days, man. But nah, man, don't take your time. Get back so you back. Or if you can, be better than you were before physically. So this won't happen again.
The last comment, y'all can respond to this. I think just happiness of Kispert's night. So
don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. And this is no disrespect. He has a lot of work to do. Matter of fact, Clay wasn't Clay in his first 3 or 4 years in the league. Y'all got to chill with it, man. That's a Hall of Famer, first ballot, 4-time champion. Ain't nothing like that on the Wizards. It hasn't been for a while. So got to chill with these wild comparisons, man.
Just let Corey keep being the best Corey he can be. And as he grows, if he grows into something where we need to discuss that, be happy to do so. But right now, there's no reason to. But we appreciate y'all. We'll check in with y'all Saturday night after the Wizards take on the Milwaukee Bucks on the road in Milwaukee.